Mailman just dropped me off nice surprise I've been waiting on. Really looking forward to doing this review. A little bit of backstory on it. I've been seeing a lot of videos, a lot of stuff popping up here in the last few weeks or so about River Country Products Trekking 2.2 tent, and they've been having some issues with it. Apparently they've got that all straightened out. They know what the problem is. It was just a bad batch. They're getting those fixed, but that's a totally separate thing from what I'm doing. Anyway, what I got in the mail today, all I did was I cut off the tape so that I could just open it up. I have got the River Country Products Trekking 1 tent. And this is actually the combo. It comes with the tent and with the trekking poles. You have to have trekking poles to set up this tent. Anyway, I was really excited about this. I contacted River Country Products and I told them, you know, I'd been seeing a lot of reviews, a lot of information on their 2.2, but hardly anything other than just someone setting up and saying, hey, I really like the one, and that was it. So anyway, sent them a couple of emails, got in touch with them. I had requested either a discount code or a free tent for testing, and they did send this to me for free. So being totally upfront, this was sent to me for free. If there's anything wrong, you're going to see it, but it was sent to me for free for testing, both the trekking poles and the tent. 100% free from them for testing. So just so you know, that's all up front. Never used trekking poles before, so I don't know how good of a review I'll be able to give on these. They feel sturdy in the bag, but we'll go through them when we get there. The tent was the big thing for me. I really loved the design on it, the way it looked. So I wanted to try it out. So I'm going to be setting this up in the yard. We're in the middle of a heat wave right now. 100+ degree heat indexes, really hot, no rain. So I'm setting this up in my backyard so I can hook my water hose to it with the sprinkler and see if I get any leaks. That was the problem that they had with their 2.2. was some seam sealing, so I figured the best way to test it is set it up and see what happens with sprinkler, since I don't have any rain planned in our forecast for at least 7 days. So anyway, I've got a tarp down on the ground for a ground sheet. That way I can be as fair to the bottom of the tent as I can. We'll open up everything and just follow the instructions that are on it and set it up. So let's see what we got. Okay, so remove the plastic bag. We got a little bit of wind. I apologize for any wind noise. Level ground, flat, stake corners. They got some really well written instructions, and then they've got instructions on the inside with pictures, in case you were wondering. Tips and tricks for reducing condensation. Number 1, don't quit breathing. That's an important one. You do need to breathe. It does say in here, try waterproofing spray for the condensation. It says to go to local Walmart, get it for around $5. Anyway, that's the instructions. I'll have to be following that. Thank you from River Country. Just kind of tells you what you got. Just a little paper here. Next, we've got the stuff sack. Got a drop handle out the back. Let's see. tent itself, pretty small. Also, I did request the blue color instead of the green. When I talked to River Country, I thought that because of being in the south, I thought the blue might be a little bit cooler than the green. I have no idea if that's true or not. That's just the reason why I chose the blue. I thought it was a good looking color, and I thought it might be a little bit cooler in the summertime. I'm just sticking everything underneath the tarp here if you can't see that. Little tent stakes. Get everything opened up. These are fairly lightweight aluminum stakes. If you're an ultra light backpacker, you might want something else, but for me, I think these will be perfect. I mean, they weigh next to nothing. I weighed the tent in the plastic bag when I took it out of the box originally. I hadn't opened it up or anything. I just took it out and set it on my scale, and the total was 2.14 pounds. I'll try to insert a picture of that if I can remember. But anyway, I don't see any problem with these. Nice, lightweight, seems sturdy enough. You might be able to beat them up if you really tried, but for tent stakes, I think they'll be okay. Okay, and I know I'm gonna need one of these, so I'll go ahead and open them as well. The little bit of reading that I have done and the little bit of checking around, everyone says that cork handles are the way to go. So it's a nice touch that they do have the cork handles. They got the little stoppers here. Aluminum and carbon poles designed for river country trekking pole tents. Visit us online at rivercountryproducts.com. Mix of 70-75 aluminum and carbon, perfect pole, designed to work with our entire line of trekking pole tents and shelters. Got measurements on it, so you know how far to measure, where to stop. Okay. Sorry, I was being quiet and looking at this. Little quick locks. Little screw on the side, tighten them up, lock them down. Pretty nice. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with trekking poles. I'm just being up front. I've always just used a stick. Matter of fact, my normal walking stick's just right behind you. But anyway, they feel pretty good in the hand. Let me go ahead and get the other one set up too. So you just flip the little lock out, pull down to your desired length. I just went ahead and went to the full 135 centimeter. Turn a couple of times here, push down. Okay, still feels a little light. Turn a couple of more times right here. And then close and lock it. Same down here. Open. Pull it down to where it says stop. Tighten up your locking screw or locking nut. Flip it over. There you go. Easy peasy for a guy who's never done it before. So, alright, we got these set up. set to the side. Let's go ahead and see what we say. Lay the tent flat on the ground with the door facing the desired direction. I'm going to face the door towards you. Stake the four corners of the tent first. Make sure the tent is pulled tight. All stakes should be pushed in or hammered in at a 20 to 30 degree angle. Okay. So we will start with that and go from there. Stretch up my tarp a little bit more. Okay. As I'm making for sure my tarp stays underneath it. I don't want to accidentally cause an issue with the bathtub. Try to be as fair and as honest as I can with this thing. Okay. Alrighty. So I just staked out the four corners. Insert trekking pole handle up into the peak of the tent and adjust to the correct height. Do not put the metal tip in the tent. It'll rip the tent. Mine don't have a metal tip on them, so it should be good to go. With the door closed, pull the door tight away from the tent and stake one side of the door down. So only one side will open. All right. Got some Velcro and a zipper here to get to here. Now, I don't know what the proper height is for this. You know, I just set these a second ago to their max, so might end up having to adjust them down. And it looks like I will. Looks like I don't know, probably 130 centimeters. Nope, a little more. Okay, 125 centimeter mark is pretty tight. Make sure our bug netting zipped in. So far, guys, I am really liking this. It's coming together easy. Getting the vestibule set up here. Okay. Pull back on it till it's tight and stake it down. Did that. If not already done, attach the guideline ropes to the back and the vent and the side pullouts. You're probably not going to be able to see me do that because I'll have to be on the back side. but where the guide wires are, I'm going to pull them out so it'll help vent. I'll show you what it looks like after I'm done. And according to that, that's the last step. So we're almost done. Just bear with me, guys. And then we got a guide wire here on the top. It's got one, it looks like, on each side and two in the back. To really help this dude breathe. Ooh. And I'm just stretching these out as far as they go. You wouldn't have to have yours out that far. I'm just trying to do it as quickly as possible. If I was actually setting up camp, I'd be a lot more selective about how far out these go. And they do have adjustment toggles on them where you can shorten them up. Looks like you use all of your tent stakes that they give you. So if you want one for your other door or a different type setup, you'll have to buy you some. And for the first time setting it up, I really am okay with how long it's taken. Okay, I've got her all set up. Let me show you. Staked out here at the front. That's your vestibule area. You've got a really nice size vestibule area. You've got your bathtub bottom. You got vents all the way around, top, bottoms, both sides. Got her staked out. And like I said, on the guy wires, I just stretched them all the way out. You don't have to have that much room. You can shorten them up with their adjustment toggles. And also you've got this right here that can be opened up, unzipped, to give you more access to your mesh here. This is more of a like a rain fly. You could stake it out to help keep out more rain, or open it up to allow more air. Like I said, I don't have enough stakes to stake that part out, and I don't have enough to stake this door other than right here where the first one is, which you would run your zipper down from the inside and then I guess reach around and stake the bottom. Anyway, there she is set up. I'm going to go ahead and get my bedding set in there and show you how roomy it is. So here we are. I've got my trusty old military green army bag, a little pillow, just for size comparison. I'm 5'11", about 205 pounds. I have plenty of room in here. And as you can see right here, I'm setting up. Back of my head is just barely touching. But if I had the vestibule closed, I'd have an unbelievable amount of room. I could set in here with the vestibule closed and the screen's totally open and no issue. You've got toggles to hold your screen back, your bug mesh. And on the back flap for extra ventilation, I showed you from the back. Right here, there's toggles so that you can unzip that in the back and roll it up and get extra ventilation. So, I said I'm 5 foot. 11. My toes are barely touching the bottom, and shoot, I've got a good foot before I touch. Looks can be deceiving, but the seams look to be sealed really well. Now we won't know until we do the water test, which is coming up. You got a vent here, a vent pulling on each side, and yeah, for one person this is really nice. Now you got plenty of room. You could possibly, if you had a significant other, you could possibly get a significant other in here with you. It would be awful snuggly, but if they're your significant other, it should be snuggly. And I'm really digging this. Super easy. You saw me set it up for the very first time in real time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now that you've seen the inside of it, see how much room there is. And like I said, I've got a good, hell, I might even have 2 foot between my head and the wall back here. Your back slope is a little close, but it's not bad. And I mean, this whole thing here is a vent too. This is bug netting the whole back. I would be really surprised if you did get condensation, especially if you left half of your vestibule open. Even if you close your vestibule, I don't think that it would get that much. Anyway, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to close up the bug, I'm going to close up the vestibule, and I'm going to turn the water hose with the sprinkler on it. I've got my sleeping bag in here if it leaks. I got my sleeping bag in here. If it leaks, you'll see, and I'll show. I really hope that this thing doesn't leak. I'm just being honest. I love the design of this. I think it's a really great design for one person, or like I said, you could possibly take 2, or maybe even, you know, for 2 kids. If you have 2 kids that are young, it'd be a great tent for them. I really have high hopes that this thing doesn't leak, because I really like it so far. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and close everything up. I'm going to leave all of this stuff out so that we can see if stuff actually gets wet in here. And I'll turn you back on once we get the water running. So, to button things up, just drop your toggles, drop your zippers, which I need to get out, I guess, before I zip myself in. Zippers run fairly smooth. Basically like every other tent I've ever owned. So, unfortunately, I haven't owned any of the super high-end stuff, so I can't tell you how that would compare to a $600 zipper. But it feels like every other tent I've ever owned. So, zip that dude down. I'm gonna grab one of my stakes and put here. Just one personal stake that I've got. Everything else came with the stakes, but I just think it needs an extra one right there to help hold that. So I just think it would look better. I think it would hold it better. So that's the one thing I'm going to change from what they sent me, is I'm going to add one extra stake. And then I'm going to close the Velcro on the fly and turn the water on. So just a second and you'll start seeing water. Just so you guys can see, it is 1:57 Saturday, July 20th, and I've just started the water test. I got water running off of the tent. I'm going to have to adjust the sprinkler so it just sprinkles onto the tent instead of oscillating over like it is now. But you got to see exactly what time it is that the test started, and I'll show you when it stops. Sorry about that, I'm trying to get this thing adjusted. There we go. So you can see it's raining directly onto the tent. I say rain, it is actually the sprinkler. Trying to get it adjusted to where it gets the most hitting it. There we go. Okay. Now you can see it's hitting everywhere on the tent. I'm actually getting wet here with it. The River Country Products started wet test at 157. I'm going to let it run, see what happens. I'll come back and show you when I'm done. Okay, so it is now 2:10. It was 157. So about 20 minutes worth. And you can see the ground is totally saturated. It's really good and wet. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the water, open up the inside, and see what we've got. So, I mean, it's not a lot of water, but any water inside a tent shouldn't happen. And like I said, a little over 20 minutes worth of running. That's what I got. So, I was hoping for better. But anyway, final thoughts on it. I still really love how big the vestibule is. Plenty of room. Do whatever you need to. You can cook. You have room for your bag. You have room to hang out. The water is an issue, so that'll have to be addressed. It is not as bad as what the Trekker 2.2 is having, but there is a slight leak issue. And I still like the tent. I'm going to keep the tent. I'm going to put some seam seal and some waterproofing spray around the edges, and just go ahead and keep it. I love the design. You saw how quick it was for me to put up the first time by myself, never doing it before. So I'm going to run some seam sealant down and take her out camping and see what happens. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the review on the Trekker 1 from River Country Products. And you know, for the price, should you have to put seam sealant on? Maybe, maybe not. But I'm okay with it, just for the fact of what I'm going to use it for, and for the fact that, you know, a little bit of seam sealant's not going to kill me. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you like, follow, subscribe, all that good jazz. If not, sorry to waste your time. Anyway, that's the review of the Trekker 1 River Country Products tent, and thanks again.